So friends, when it comes to incriminating evidence, the single most damaging witness to Donald Trump continues to be Donald Trump. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, as we head into the weekend, let's talk about something a little on the lighter side. Listen to this story that was just told by Donald Trump, and as you're listening to it, see what it brings to mind for you. Here is the new account related by the Washington Post. Headline: with one exaggerated anecdote, Trump kneecaps his January 6th defense. Donald Trump's tough guy shtick plays well on Fox News, so he leaned into it during an appearance on the late-night talk show Gutfeld on Wednesday. Host Greg Gutfeld brought up Governor Tim Walz, Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate on the Democratic presidential ticket. Trump, the Republican nominee, quickly disparaged Walz as strange, and then Trump, told a story aimed at presenting Walz as weak and himself, Trump, as strong, though with a notable unintended consequence. This quote from Trump: "You know, Walz, called up years ago," Trump began, referring to Walz. "The governor's mansion in Minnesota was surrounded by protesters," Trump said, "and Walz was seeking help." Quote, "My house is being surrounded by people with American flags," Trump claimed Walz said. Quote, "I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing?" And Walz, said, "I think they're going to attack me." Gutfeld guffawed. Quote, "But this was during the riots and everything," Trump continued. "They were MAGA people. You know, they liked the American flag, all right, and they also had Trump flags." Walz, Trump said, asked Trump to tell people that he was their friend. So Trump got on Twitter. Quote, "I put out a statement. He's a good man, the governor. He's on our side. I didn't know him, but I didn't want him to get hurt," Trump said. And everybody put down their flags and they left. Trump, later added, "It was sort of a beautiful thing in a lot of ways." So friends, let's go back to the headline. With one exaggerated anecdote, Trump kneecapped his January 6th defense. You see how he kneecapped? How he undercut? How he badly damaged his own defense? Donald Trump told a story, making it clear that he knew he possessed the power to stop an ongoing attack by his MAGA supporters. You know, the folks he said were out there surrounding Governor Walz's mansion with American flags and MAGA flags. And Donald Trump said not only did he know he possessed the power to stop it, he stopped it instantly with a tweet. Hey, Governor Walz is okay. He's not a bad guy. Don't hurt him." And according to Donald Trump, the crowd accordingly put down their American flags and their MAGA flags, and they went home. Now let's see. When was there another incident when an angry mob was attacking a governmental building carrying American flags and MAGA flags? Oh, yeah. January 6th. And Donald Trump just told a story that can be used against him in a court of law. We're going to talk about that in a minute. About how Trump, knew he had the power to stop it instantly and protect his vice president, but he didn't do it, did he? He didn't send out a tweet saying, no, Vice President Mike Pence is a good man. He's one of us. Don't hurt him. Put down your flags. go home. No, what did Donald Trump tweet? Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what needed to be done. In other words, to keep Donald Trump in power. And the subtext to that tweet was, get him. And get him, they tried to do. They hunted for Mike Pence. Chance of hang Mike Pence erupted. Donald Trump knew he had the power to stop what was going on at the Capitol on January 6th, and instead he fanned the flames. He poured gas on the fire, and he urged his supporters in no uncertain terms to get him. How will that statement come back to haunt Donald Trump at trial? So anything that tumbles out of Donald Trump's rancid mouth is admissible against him in a court of law as what's called a statement of a party opponent. If Donald Trump said it, Jack Smith, or any prosecutor for that matter, in any of the many cases in which Donald Trump is being prosecuted, can introduce those statements to the jury as evidence against Donald Trump. So think about it. Jack Smith introduces Donald Trump's story on the Fox News program that, when the MAGA crew with flags, Trump flags, American flags, were about to attack Governor Tim Walz, I said, no, let me tweet out, don't do it. He's a good man, put down the flags, go home. And they did, thereby demonstrating Donald Trump knew he had the power to put a stop to an ongoing attack by his supporters. So when that same situation confronted Donald Trump on January 6th, knowing he had the power to stop the attack, to protect his vice president and everybody in the Capitol that day, he sat there, reportedly in a little dining room off the Oval Office, watching it on TV, rewinding to the good parts, and refusing to put a stop to it, even though people were streaming through that dining room, including some of his own family members saying, please stop. He wouldn't. That is some powerfully incriminating evidence, and it comes directly from the mouth of the big orange horse himself, the best kind of incriminating evidence. So how might Donald Trump defend against it? Well, you can see this one coming a mile away. Well, I was just telling a story. I didn't really get a call from Governor Tim Walz. I didn't really put out a tweet telling the crowd to stop, surrounding the governor's mansion and preparing to attack him. I didn't tell them to put down their flags and go home. Well, if Donald Trump wants to present that defense, then what he's communicating to the jury is, well, I'm not a criminal. I'm just a great big liar who says whatever he feels like saying in the moment that might serve his purposes or entertain the crowd. Not a criminal, just a liar. That kind of an explanation of incriminating statements typically doesn't play well with juries. Take it from somebody who tried countless cases before juries for 30 years. That kind of an explanation doesn't fly. Juries will see right through it. And that's why Donald Trump continues to be the single best prosecution witness, the single most incriminating witness against Donald Trump. So friends, this once again proves that Donald Trump is forever trying his cases in the court of public opinion. But once these cases move into courts of law, Donald Trump will be convicted, hands down, over and over and over again. Indeed, in New York, he was almost literally convicted in a New York minute on 34 felony counts, because in the court of public opinion, where he tells his stories and he spews his lies, there are no rules of evidence, rules of procedure. There's no rule of law. There's no judge. There's no prosecutor. So he says what feels good in the moment, but it's going to feel a whole lot less good when his statements are introduced against him as statements of a party opponent and they incriminate him. And Donald Trump will be the one who ends up convicting Donald Trump. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.